Now, it's not a huge deal, but I am so sad at the fact that there will not be a Field of Dreams game in 2023. That's because construction is going to be happening in that area, so I'm going to really miss this walkout of all the players coming out of the corn. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, so we're really not going to waste any time with an intro. The only thing I will say is if you're going to any baseball games or concerts, save yourself some money. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. Now, as much as I love the Field of Dreams game, whose idea was it to have the Cubs facing off against the Reds? Now, I might be missing a key piece of the movie or some history, but regardless, the Cubs definitely buttered the Reds' corn. There's a corn joke for you. As they popped off for 3 in the first, Seiya Suzuki hit the gap. Nico Horner and Ian Happ, they both found some holes as well. And then same for Nick Madrigal in the 4th inning. One man we have to talk about, Drew Smyly. The first 4 innings of this game, I think he had 8 strikeouts. He ended up going 5 scoreless innings with 9 punch-outs, and then Rowan Witt came in for 2 strikeouts for his 7th save of the year. So the Chicago Cubs, they win pretty easily over the Reds, even though the score was 4-2. It wasn't really close since the first inning. Now, again, not the most exciting matchup in the world, but at least we got to hear Joey Votto on the mic. This dude 100% has a future in broadcasting. But you guys can clearly see the title. MLB could be in some serious trouble here soon. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because the game, the Field of Dreams game, was held in Iowa. That is where the movie takes place. That is where the field is at. So, of course, the game is going to be played there. Well, normally, the people of Iowa would not be able to watch the Cubs because 1/5 of Major League Baseball is blacked out for everyone who lives in Iowa. So a year ago, Robert Manfred said it was a top priority to get blackouts fixed in the state of Iowa. Can we get an update on that, Mr. Manfred? So if you live there, you can't watch the Cubs, the Cardinals, the White Sox, the Twins, the Brewers, or the Royals. So by proxy, the teams that they're facing are also blacked out, and it's the same for people like me in Las Vegas. The same amount of teams. I have 6 teams blacked out in Las Vegas. For example, I'm a Guardians fan, but when the Guardians play in San Diego in 2 weeks, I won't be able to watch them because the Padres are blacked out in Las Vegas. So a guy named JD Schulten on Twitter says that he will be taking legal action. He is going to Iowa court next session to sue Major League Baseball or whatever he's going to do. A precedent will be set either way. If he wins, that's great for blackouts. If he loses, baseball is going to get a lot of flack. Now, again, I love Major League Baseball. They have given me a platform to basically build a career on, so I hope that they figure this out. I hope that they go about it the right way, because if they don't, hell is going to be had. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the other games from yesterday. Brian Serven hit a long double to score 2 in the second, only to have Nolan Gorman and Corey Dickerson team up for the Cardinals to tie it up in the 4th inning. Both Dakota Hudson and German Marquez, they settled down after those few hiccups. They both allowed just 2 earned runs in their starts. Now, the Cardinals bullpen caved in on itself as Chuck Nasty started a huge rally. Iglesias, he singled home one, and then Rogers went yard. He now has 24 doubles, 11 home runs, and a whopping 13 defensive run saves after having -5 last year. So tip of the cap, he has really improved his defense, maybe with the help of DRS King Ryan McMahon, who also went yard as well. Now, the Brewers did not play yesterday, so the Cardinals are just a half game ahead of the Brewers for first place after that L to the Rockies. Marlins, they did just enough offensively to give Edward Cabrera a lead to work with, and Edward, we all know him as the MLB The Show legend. He really took over in this one. After tossing nearly 6 scoreless with 6 strikeouts, he lowered his season ERA to 2.05. Again, the Marlins, they have young pitchers for days. The bullpen held its own, and Tanner Scott struck out 3 for his 16th save. He came from Baltimore. Now, imagine if he had stayed there, the Orioles would have been even better. So the Marlins end up ending the Phillies' 7-game winning streak. Maybe the Phillies can go on another streak here soon. Now, a few months ago, the Tigers' Twitter account thought it would be a good idea to post this after sweeping the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, the Tigers have not won a ball game versus Cleveland since this tweet. Stephen Kwan's home run in the 5th was his 3rd of the season, and he made it 3-0. And good thing he did that, because Trevor Stephan completely ruined a gem by Zach Plesac, who went 6 1/3 and racked up 7 strikeouts along the way. Now, again, I already hinted at it, but Oscar Gonzalez gave Cleveland the lead back, and senior citizen Brian Shaw, he wrapped it up. I just want to mention that Javier Baez, I'm not trying to hate on him per se, but this dude is stealing money. He has an 82 OPS plus and -5 defensive run saves. He might be legitimately the worst good player in the history of baseball. Like, he's good, but he's also really bad. Barry Bonds, Vinny Pasquantino was at it again. Over his last 6 games, he's hitting almost 400. He's hitting 391 with 3 home runs. That was off of Dylan Cease as well, so that was pretty impressive. But speaking of impressive, Dylan Cease did not allow a run for the rest of that game, and Zach Greinke, look at this old man go. He's approaching 39 years old, and he dazzled against a fairly good lineup in the Chicago White Sox. He almost went 7 shutouts. He had 5 strikeouts, did not walk anyone. He now has a career 7 75.5 WAR. He is going to walk into the Hall of Fame, at least in my little fuzzy opinion. Kansas City added a few more after Nicky Lopez singled. Then you have a single from MJ Melendez, and finally Michael Taylor. Scott Barlow came in and converted his 18th save of the year. The Royals are not good whatsoever, but at least they're a young team and they're letting their young prospects come up and do their thing. Nick Pratto, Vinny Pasquantino, Bobby Witt Jr., tip of the cap. Now, because we just talked about the White Sox, one more piece of news. Tatis got released. No, not Fernando Tatis, the former White Sox, his younger brother Elijah Tatis. I hope it works out for him, but he was not very good in the minors. But again, he has the Tatis name. He's probably going to get a chance elsewhere, and I hope it works out for him. What has gotten into Martin Maldonado? He has matched his entire 21 production, but in 41 fewer games. And my God, prime Alex Bregman might be making a return, folks. He's hitting .370 with a .471 on base percentage over his last 12 games. So those 2 home runs gave Framber a huge lead to mess with, and he messed with the Rangers all night. He had 7 shutout innings with 8 punchies, and I think at one point he threw 10 consecutive curveballs, so he was letting that off speed do its thing. And it still blows my mind that the Astros, they signed Framber Valdez for $10,000 and Luis Garcia for $20,000. So for 30 grand, they got 2 Major League All-Stars for the most part. I mean, they've been great in the postseason. I think they both have made an All-Star team for 30 grand. Now, of course, they're making more money now that they've accomplished things and they're a proven Major League starter. But I guess where they're from, if you're 19, 20 years old, you're considered a has-been, a dinosaur in the development system. So I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but props to the Astros. They gave these guys a chance when no one else would, and they proved that that was the right choice. The Red Sox broke out for some RBI doubles from Alex Verdugo and Tommy Pham, and eventually ended up with 3 runs before the 4th inning, which was clutch considering the Orioles, they're always pretty feisty against the Boston Red Sox. They fight back again. They score 3 in the 6th off of Winkowski and Davis. Winkowski really showed up his teammate, in my opinion. He was pouting in the dugout while Davis was out there. He didn't get the job done, obviously, which sucks, but you can't show up your teammate like that. I'm not going to show that, but I hope that Winkowski learns from that. Luckily for Davis, he gets the W after Eric Hosmer doubled to deep center, and Scott Schreiber, he ripped apart Baltimore over 2 innings. Boston has been mocked and basically cast aside, but they're still just 4.5 games back of the wild card. If they can get hot, buckle up, folks. The AL wild card is going to get even spicier. And last but not least, before we talk about the web gems and this day in MLB history, the final game, Pittsburgh's bottom half of the lineup has really been showing signs of life as of late. They go up 2-0 thanks to Mercado and Greg Allen, the former Cleveland legend. Emmanuel Rivera has been a monster for Arizona so far. He's hitting .370 with 2 home runs in his first 19 at-bats. Carson Kelly made it a 1-run game, and Alec Thomas's ground out in the 7th tied it up, and guess who did it again? Well, not in a home run, but yep, Emmanuel Rivera, he got the job done. That gave him 3 RBIs on the day, and then my boy, Dalton Varsho, one of my favorite players in baseball, he cleared the bases. He now has 35 extra base hits, a 109 OPS plus, and a 3 WAR on the season. That guy can play baseball. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. We do this every single day. And before we show the web gems, Mariners fans are going to like this. 7 years ago today, Asashi Iwakuma, he no-hit the Orioles.
First pitch. Jackson got a read on it. He's there, and Asashi Iwakuma has thrown a no-hitter, the 5th in Mariners history. Asashi Iwakuma.
Patrick's around it. Lined and caught at third by Donovan. Throw to first. Double play. Oh, what a play, Brendan Donovan.
Contreras swings this one to right. Aquino will make the grab. Third. Here's a great throw to get him.
That man, I think had 6 putouts, but 5 putouts at home plate. He has a cannon.
Yeah. Ooh, that's trouble. And a dive or a lean and a tumble.
In the hole. Oh, what a diving stop by Freeman. Gets up and throws him out. A dynamite, dazzling defensive effort at the high.
2-2. And this is lined toward right center field. And Donzo makes the catch.